book lovers, my name is Carrie and this is Spines and Spoilers. Sorry ahead of time for the stuffy nose and the general just like drained demeanor, any like sniffling or sneezing. I've been sick for, I don't know, several days now. I was forced to leave the house because the car needed to be inspected. I did wear a mask. I interacted with one person from like over 6 feet away, other than when I paid, and even then it was like, hey, you might want to step back. And I only did that because otherwise I was going to lose the car. That was kind of necessary. Anyway, yeah, not feeling great, but I figured while I was out and in the car, I might as well go ahead and film my TBR for February. I usually start my videos off with what I'm reading and what I'm drinking. I will mention what I'm reading once I start the actual TBR video, since, you know, that kind of goes hand in hand. But what I'm drinking is a mocha latte type thing that I got from the car inspection place. So, yeah, caffeine to help me feel slightly more human. And yes, before you say it, I have been drinking actual fluids. I've been drinking a lot of water. That's basically the only thing I have been drinking. That and like Dayquil and NyQuil. I had to move the car because there was an old man just sitting there watching me, and looking at me like I was Beelzebub because I'm filming in public and wearing makeup, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, moving on to my TBR for February, the first book that I'm working on at this moment in time is Snake Eater by T. Kingfisher. So far, so good. It's kind of about ancient gods that live in the desert. It's not her usual fare. It's kind of out of her comfort zone, I feel like, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, and I am enjoying it so far. Next book that I'm going to be reading in February is The Silver Book by Sylvia Lang. I had never heard of this. I just stumbled across it at the library. It does sound interesting though. It is a queer thriller that's set in the past, and it's about the Italian cinema. There's also like some magicians involved. I don't know, it's a little all over the place, but I am intrigued, and I'm always here for a queer romance thriller, historical fiction type thing. So yeah, we'll see how this one turns out. Now, before I go on, I just want to say, I know I'm probably not going to end up reading all of these books. I know my limitations, and I'm just coming out of a kind of long reading slump. I did okay for January. I think I read like 9 books in January, and most of them were actually physical books. My not my TBR, my wrap up should be up soon if it's not already. But yeah, I know my limitations. I'm going to try not to push myself too much. This next book is a weird one and kind of marks a first for me. It's Remain by Nicholas Sparks and M. Night Shyamalan, or Shyamalan. I'm not positive how to actually pronounce his name. I've heard it pronounced so many different ways. This one is about a man who leaves the hospital after suffering acute depression. He moves to a small town and meets a woman, and she seems to have a lot going on in her past. It sounds like there might be some kind of supernatural elements in this, or people who think there are supernatural elements in this. But there's a lot of talk about life and death. So I'm intrigued. I had to check it out just based on the fact that Nicholas Sparks and M. Night collaborated on something that's extremely random. And I'm here for it, and I need to know. The thing is that I started to read this and I was hoping that there would be an introduction. There's not. I wanted an explanation for this one, and I just didn't get one. The next book that I'm reading is Anthony Hopkins' memoir, We Did Okay, Kid. I'm excited for this one. I really like Anthony Hopkins' work, and I'm pretty intrigued to see kind of like what turned him into the person he is today. The next book that I want to read in February is If the Dead Belong Here by Carson Faust. It is described as Native American Southern Gothic, and it's kind of about the generational trauma that was left on the Native Americans by colonialization. It's also about grief. If the Dead Belong Here examines what it means to be haunted both by the supernatural and by terrors of our own making. Faust crafts a powerful kaleidoscopic tale about the complicated legacies of violence that shape our present, the importance of honoring our past, and the resilience of a family and a people determined to heal from old wounds. It sounded interesting to me. It's another one that I just kind of picked up at the library. Had never heard of it before, but it sounds really interesting. The next book that I want to read is also kind of outside of my usual fare. It's Fallen City by Adrienne Young. It is a fantasy and I think maybe a romance. It sounds like it kind of has Romeo and Juliet elements in there, in between this huge war for the fate of a city. So yeah, I'm intrigued about this one. It's outside of my usual fare, but I don't know. Something about it sounds really interesting. Love the cover too, and it's got painted edges. It's got so many interesting just illustrations throughout for whatever reason. They didn't have to go that hard. Yeah, maybe it'll turn out to be completely outside of my comfort zone. But I am kind of in a fantasy reading mode right now, which, those... I'll have really long periods where I'm cool and I love reading fantasy, and then I'll go through long dry periods where it just my brain doesn't want to for whatever reason. I theoretically love fantasy, but I have to read it at certain times for whatever reason because my brain is dumb. The last book that I want to read in February is actually King Sorrow by Joe Hill. It's a hefty boy. Of all the books that I checked out, I think this is the one that I'm probably least likely to be able to read. I'm intrigued by it though, because Joe Hill is trying his hand at dark academia. And the thing is, I want to be able to read all these books, but this one, I really do want to be able to knock it out, but I don't know if I'm going to have time. I have to renew this one or see if by some chance I can get my hands on my own copy. We'll have to see. At any rate, I'm really intrigued by this one. I think there are elements of fantasy as well. I'm not positive. But I'm intrigued by Joe Hill doing dark academia. That's what I'm here for. With that is it for the books that I want to read in February of 2026. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it way more than you know, especially right now when I'm feeling so poorly. I don't know why I said it like that. I have mush brain right now, okay? If you enjoyed the video, feel free to like and share and subscribe and all that jazz. Feel free to leave a comment. But what is most important to me is, one, that you stay safe because there's some crazy weather going on, and two, that you remember to love yourself. Please, it's so important. It is a form of rebellion in itself, okay? So love yourself.